Hello and welcome to the Wedding Guide podcast. I'm your host, Pete the Celebrant, and we are proudly sponsored by Easy Weddings. Easy Weddings helps thousands of couples nail their big day every year. With their award-winning directory and mobile apps, you can find and book top-rated wedding suppliers, stay on track with their planning tools, or for a more hands-off approach, work with a wedding planner to save you time and money. And it's free. Jump on to easyweddings.com.au to start your stress-free journey up the aisle today. In this episode of the podcast, we meet Hayley Barberis, the Victorian producer for the Baker Boys band, who are available all across Australia. The Baker Boys are a customisable 3 to 14-piece band specialising in high-energy music for weddings and pride themselves on filling dance floors. We discuss the process of choosing the band and what live music truly brings to your wedding day. Allow me to introduce you to the very talented Hayley Barberis. Well, hello and welcome for joining us for this next episode where we are joined by Hayley Barberis. Hayley, how are you today?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me, Pete.
Fantastic. Now, Hayley, you join us from the Baker Boys band.
That's right.
Hayley, tell us about yourself. Tell us about the Baker Boys band.
I've been doing weddings for nearly 20 years now. So I've been doing it a while. And I started with the Baker Boys in about 2006 when they needed a female singer. And
Sure.
I got the call.
Yeah.
And it was great because I'd actually, prior to that, been in a band called Reflections Of, who I think are still kicking around in a new formation. But it had been heaps of fun, but it had been a real band. You know, you had to say yes to every gig and you had to be in this band. And of course, I got some shows overseas and things that I was doing with my music and some other projects. And so I had to leave, like all musicians, because everyone was just in bands and you had to be committed.
Sure.
And then when I came back, it was great. Baker Boys was kind of, I could do a gig here and there and pick and choose. And if I had something else happening, that was okay because there were other female singers that they could call. And so I just loved this new way of working where it was flexible, but, you know, to a point, obviously, if you commit to something, you commit to if you commit to a wedding, you commit to it. But it just meant that I could say, actually, I'm going to go touring in June next year. So I'll just block myself out there. So it's just this whole new way of working. And that's probably one of my favorite things about Baker Boys.
Great. Are you still doing your own music stuff?
Not so much. No, now I've got a couple of little kids and there's something just really fun about weddings. That's my happy place. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, great. So Baker Boys, how long has Baker Boys band been around?
So Baker Boys started in about 2005. Well, I think it started in 2005. And then once it started to there was just a uni band and playing pubs and things like that. But then once they started to get quite popular and, you know, needed a female singer and needed some brass and all of those sorts of things, one of the guys built this amazing software, which is what we still use, but I guess it was a primitive form of it back then, but now we've developed it a lot further.
Sure.
And built this software to help us all keep track of our gigs. And the thing that was so sort of revolutionary about it back then and is still so amazing about it is that the musicians are actually looking at a version of the same form, I guess if you could call it, but the same portal planning page as the bride and groom and as we are in organising it as well. So everyone is literally on the same page. Everyone can just check in and see if there's been any song requests, if there's been anything updated, you know, if there's anything extra we need to know. The musicians are just always on top of what's going on and always in the loop. So it just keeps it super organised and there's sort of no risk of playing telephone. Everyone's literally on the same page.
Right. Now, the Baker Boys band is not simply one band. Explain to us how does it work? Because it's Australia wide. It's not simply in one state. It's in every state.
Yes.
Share with us, how does this work?
Yeah. So because of this amazing software, we can keep track of everyone. We also have an incredible team of producers who are the ones who actually book the gigs. They also play on heaps of gigs as well. And I do some bookings as well. And I also play on a lot of the gigs. And so because of that, I think people have this very sort of 70s interpretation of what a band should be. And it should be, 4 guys living in a share house, rehearsing all day and jamming. Or so, I don't know. The amount of clients I get sort of saying, where will the band be coming from? I'll be like, well, there's 6 of them and they all live in different places.
Sure.
I don't know. So yes, it's sort of, if anything, I like to dispel that sort of impression of bands as much as possible. They're all, we have professional musicians, and I think most professional people work with more than 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
Maybe not celebrants, but
yeah.
But in most industries you would have, lots of people you work with. So we have about, 20 or 30 people in each branch now. And we're all constantly playing gigs together all the time. So as much as it's, it's not one band, it is one team. And so it's a very unified and consistent product that we're providing.
Nice. How many musicians are currently part of the band?
Well, with COVID, there's about 3 in Queensland having a great time, and the rest and the rest of us are just waiting. So
yeah.
Yep. Yes. So at the moment, not many at all. But yeah, like I say, we have probably 20 or 30 in each branch now. So
sure. Okay.
Quite a few.
And I'll just say for listeners as well, Callum and Bree, who I did their wedding, they are do you call them the producers, or are they the organisers in Queensland? What's their title?
Yes, that's right. They're the producers. And I'd probably say they manage that branch as well, really, because they are very much the producers and the heads of the team there. So
sure. So I did their wedding, and we spoke about them with Bottle Brush Films in a previous episode, and they had the great little forgetting the rings scene that you can see that filmed in action. It was good fun. So they are part of the Baker Boys band, and I definitely met a few band members at different weddings and receptions, but that was probably my first time really getting to know some of the musicians, in depth. And it was great. It was really good.
Yeah.
So it's great to have the Baker Boys band on the podcast. Share with us, if you could, a little bit about the process that you take couples through, like from right to the start, from they are interested in getting a band to the wedding day.
Yeah. So essentially, I think my favourite part about what we do is we offer a live showcase. And no matter what band you end up going with, make sure you see them play live. I think that really, you can hide all sorts of things in demos and videos and all of those things. But if you see a band play live and you get a good vibe, I mean, that's really what's going to be at your wedding. It sort of doesn't really matter what they sound like on a CD. You've got to make sure they sound right live. So yeah, we have a live showcase. So generally what a lot of clients will do is give us a call and we'll just have a chat about the sort of styles of music they're after and what they're looking for. And that gives us an idea, and we already start penciling in some people for them because it will start to give us an idea of the kind of vibe they're after. Even though we all play the same songs, it's really just some singers will just give it their own flavor, and it is just that matter of pairing the client to the best lineup. So we'll already start penciling some things in, then they'll come to a showcase, and usually at that point they will say, oh my God, I just love this singer, he's amazing. And they get all excited. And so if we can, we always love to hear if there's a singer that clients would prefer, and we do our best to accommodate that. Okay. And then it's just a matter of, we send them the link, they pay a 20% deposit, and then we send them the link to their planning page. And so once they've got that, they can really just take their time and put all the information in as they get it. And we usually just pretty much leave them to it, as far as, because I know they're so busy, we try and sort of give them some space, and then we'll chase them if there's things we need, but they will usually, get everything in there in time. I'm sometimes calling people for run sheets and things like that, but our system will actually prompt them every now and again if there's something we need and we don't have yet.
Yeah, okay.
And then we just check in with them a couple of weeks before and sort of sign off on all those final details, make sure they're feeling good about it, and they don't want to change things. Sometimes in that last phone call, every now and again someone will say, "You can't put a saxophone in, can we?" Just be like, yes, you can.
Yeah, right.
And so sometimes we up the band size for them, which is fun. And then it's just a matter of getting there on the day and doing what we do.
Right. Now, you mentioned in the actual software, the platform that's there, you leave them to add a few things in there. What type of things are they putting in there?
Mostly what we need is the schedule, like just their times for the day. And then we can help them to work on their run sheet. So if they can tell us sort of what times, usually the kitchen will give them the run sheet, like the venue will give them the run sheet based on the kitchen's run sheet.
Yep.
And then we can show them how to best schedule the band. We have lots of, some clients prefer not to talk to us all the time and they just want a quick email here and there. And some of them love to chat about it, and we're fine either way. And we can help them to get the most. I'm always saying, like, I'll help you to schedule it so you can get the most out of the band and make sure that we're getting as much dance floor as possible.
Yeah. 100%. And I think, look, the dance floor is what people are looking forward to. Currently Queensland are getting their dance floor. So we're looking forward to getting ours. We're actually just looking forward to having weddings actually in Victoria.
Yeah.
Dance floors will be an added bonus when we get to it. So do they, now obviously with a band, other than choosing the band, the next most important thing are the songs. Who's choosing the songs?
Well, we actually always say to clients, we used to be really sort of overly accommodating. And I think that was probably to our detriment in the early days, is that, you can learn a million songs. Pop songs that generally have a very straightforward structure to them. You can sort of say, sure, we'll learn 50 songs. And so we'd sort of learn all these songs, but we learned very quickly that just because the bride and groom happen to love these songs, it doesn't necessarily mean they're the right thing for the dance floor. So these days, we actually really pride ourselves on getting musicians who can read the crowd and play accordingly on the night. So we love to chat to the couples, get a sense of their style. We always ask them for sort of 5 or 6 must play songs and 5 or 6 do not play songs. And that gives us a great sense of instantly, if they're play horses or don't play horses, where you're going. Just some things like that. So usually if we just get a handful of songs they love, a handful of songs they hate, and then we take it from there and really just read the crowd on the night.
Nice. Name drop. Totally met Dale Braithwaite. Just want to put that in there. Yeah. We didn't do a duo on horses, but it was good. So with the songs, okay, so I like that and I ask a similar thing. I tell me what you love about the weddings you've seen, you enjoyed them, and tell me the things with the Celebrant that you just thought that was not on. It's not happening at our wedding. So I like that in terms of tell us 6 songs you love and 6 songs that are not going to happen. What are some, I imagine some of those songs are pretty similar and some are changing. Do you want to give us some of the most popular songs that from the last year, maybe, with all the bookings?
Yeah. And I should say that doesn't mean we'll necessarily play those songs. It's usually must-haves from our list. And then if someone has a very specific request, like a bridal dance or something like that, then we're more than happy to learn a couple of special songs. That's totally fair enough. With the caveat that it has to be playable by a band. Every now and then you get sent some piece of music and you're like, you realize this is an orchestra, and you've got 2 guys and a guitar, so there's limitations, but most things we can do a version of. I'm trying to think what the most popular songs have been. It's been so long.
I've put you on the spot.
People like a lot of nostalgic stuff. They really, certainly at the moment, I feel as though, I think because of the age of the brides and grooms, is that they're sort of there's a lot of 90s requests. People are really wanting Spice Girls, and happy to oblige.
Of course. Okay. So you provide a song list to couples, but there are also, you said, if there's a specific song that you'd like to be played, you can accommodate that as well.
Yeah, like I say, if they've got a really special request, we're happy to learn it. So, and the song list, we can send them a song list, but yes, it's usually clients sort of coming to us saying, I think the most common is just, I don't know, I just want everyone dancing. And they're our favorite clients, because you're just like, we've got this.
Yep.
we can do that. So
100%. And I think a lot of feedback that comes back from other wedding suppliers is when there's that trust between the couple and supplier, as a supplier, you can just, you confidently go in there, you can do what you do great, and you know that they're going to be so happy with the end result. And it sounds like there's that trust, like they go to those demo nights and they really get a good feel for the sound, what they can expect. And then it's like, we want this, bring this to our wedding day. And with that trust and I like that as well, you're employed musicians who can obviously read the room, read the atmosphere, and say, we're going to put this song in, because it can be really hard to accommodate at receptions where you've got millennials and you've got those from generation A, just old, and it's like they might want to dance, and you might want to play something for them. And I think seeing who's on the dance floor at that stage is really important to bring that feel and that vibe.
Yeah. No, it's always that. Oh, sorry, I was going to say, you've got to target the aunties early, because they'll get up there, and then and that gets the vibe going, and then and then you can make it slightly more modern.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, the aunties always started off. It's good.
They're great.
What do you believe a live band brings? What do you believe the Baker Boys band brings that Spotify doesn't?
I've given this a lot of thought, because I think more and more we're being asked for DJs, which absolutely we can provide, and we have the best DJs. But having said that, I think people are potentially getting a bit less familiar with going to see live music, and it is just an energy that you can't create another way. It really, when you have 6 people up there just absolutely pouring their energy into the room, it's kind of unbeatable. And as far as atmosphere goes and just general enjoyment of the crowd, I don't think you can beat that. And it's really quite powerful, like just on a human level.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and DJs do an incredible job. And I didn't actually know that you had DJs as well. So that's also interesting. So bands and DJs, pretty much just music covered.
Yes.
But when you have a DJ there, and then what I'm finding is becoming more regular or more popular, is having a live musician like a saxophone player or a trumpet player accompanying these pieces of music. It just, that little added extra of live music completely changes the atmosphere. So I completely agree. DJs do an incredible job, and I look forward to chatting to a DJ one day on an episode. But having that live music, I feel like it's hard to explain. It just brings the atmosphere, this whole new vibe, that real touch to it. So
there is something quite tribal about it in a way. Like it's sort of, it probably sounds a bit facetious in a way, but there is something, like I say, that's quite powerful. And just on that human level, when you really get a drum kit playing, and you can't help but get up and dance and want to be part of this sort of communal experience.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm sad that I missed Callum and Bree's reception, because the setup for that looked huge, and I just it just looked like it would have been the absolute best night ever. So would have been good.
I wasn't there either, but I did see the Bottle Brush film, and it was amazing. So
it looked like a lot of fun. What do you wish? Actually, I'll ask, are there any specific songs or styles that Baker Boys prefers to play?
I think that's actually our strength, is that because the musicians we have are so not just talented, but highly skilled and trained, they really are capable and able to be very flexible and across a lot of different styles. I think that's actually what keeps me really interested in playing weddings, is there isn't another gig in town where you get to go and I've sung like a classical, the flower duet at a ceremony, and then gone and done 2 sets of jazz and got to do all my favorite Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and, all those sorts of things. And then belt out 4 sets of pop and, Whitney Houston. And I mean, no one ever wants to hear all of that in one gig except a wedding. And it's so much fun. So, and that's really where the challenge is, in finding those musicians who are capable of spanning so many genres and doing it sort of seamlessly. So I actually think that's our strength rather than one particular style.
And do couples pick like 1 or 2 of the members of the band, or do they pick all of them? How does that work?
They usually just fall in love with a singer.
Sure. Yep.
And so they usually are really wanting a certain singer. We used to sort of show, here's this drummer and here's this drummer and it's honestly, you can't tell the difference, and that's horrible of me to say, but once they get to a certain skill level, they're all just great. And the clients are just like, I don't know, they all sound like they play the drums, So it was just an overwhelming amount of choice. So we really do just get a rhythm section together, which is your drums, bass, guitar, keys. And then we showcase different singers for them to choose. And then, or just to see sort of the different size bands as well, we cut it back and we bring it up throughout the showcase. And then usually once they've got a preference for a singer, even if they don't end up choosing that singer, we put the rhythm section together that play together all the time. So you're getting that really solid, tight, proper sound.
Yeah.
So we sort of say to clients, don't choose your bass player and drummer. We'll put a bass player and drummer that like really lock in and make it a great sound.
Cool. What do you wish couples knew?
I think I just wish couples knew to just really trust us. And I also completely understand why perhaps they don't all the time. Getting married for them is a once in a lifetime experience and a 4 times a week experience for us. So it's, it's a very different, I really understand why they're so concerned and why they, but I wish they just knew to sort of find suppliers they trust and just let them do what they do.
Yeah. Cool. What is your best advice to couples?
Yeah, I've heard you ask a couple of people this, and I've been interested in the answers, and I keep trying to think, what is my advice for the wedding? And I know everyone says to be in the moment and all of that, but I'm really stumped on that. I'm trying to think what's the best advice. It's just have a great time. Like just enjoy it. It is so much fun. I certainly know. And if I learned anything, from my wedding is just, I know I didn't get time to eat anything, and I just was talking to everyone, and it was just awesome. I'm like, just have a great time.
Cool.
So just enjoy it. Let people get suppliers you trust. Let them do what they do, and just have a good time.
That sounds awesome. And I know as suppliers, we're all looking forward to getting back and doing what we do best and having fun with that. I know couples are looking forward to finally having their weddings, and it's slowly happening at least in Victoria. Other states are already having fun. We love that. Good on you. Well done. But we here in Victoria are also looking to having fun one day as well, soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
One day.
Hayley, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing with us about the Baker Boys band, and I highly encourage couples who are looking for that next level of engagement with music, go check out the Baker Boys band. You know what the process is like. You get to go choose incredible musicians for your wedding day, professionals who will bring just an incredible day at your wedding. Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. Stay safe. Farewell. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.